Pea koutou katoa rai ngā rangatiro te hau kāinga. E te ato e tō mātou whakarurunga e tō mātou kaha e te puno o ngā mea whai katoa.
Kia ora everybody, it's an honour and a privilege to get up and whakatau everyone here tonight as the chairman of the Waitangi National Trust.
So therefore the footprints are already in place. I think it's a high time now that history needs to be expanded a bit more.
It's about voyaging, discovery, it's about settlement, it's about linguistics, it's about adaptation.
In order to put the conversation together, we need to go back and ask the question, how did we get to this point, where we are using the concept of voyaging and navigation as a way of looking back toward our future.
About navigation and to look at the list of corridor we have speakers today.
One of the questions we're going to touch on briefly is the world of Oceania. And I was chatting with Anne last time, where did this term come from? Who said the Pacific is called Oceania?
Voyaging in the old world, voyaging in the new world, voyaging into the future.
It's difficult to talk about my field of expertise, if you like, because there are no textbooks for tārai waka.
That Te Mōna Nui a Kiwa is an entity. Whether we look at that entity as being Tangaroa, or whether we look at that entity as being Wainui, whatever, it's an entity that has rights, but has no ability to voice those rights. And so our job is to be that voice.
In conclusion then, I wanted to emphasise how we're using perhaps modern techniques to investigate old pathways and how we'd like to combine lines of evidence, oral traditions, archaeology, palynology, ecologically, to link these past things and ideas.
Ko tūpoko tahumata te mauka, ko kana te awa, ko wairewa te roto. We're just excavating, trying to look at how these things were constructed. But again, I'm looking for fossil remains. I'm trying to think, well, what was happening in the past in the environment here.
And so we go back, when we want to retract and find answers to things, we go back to these pūrākau, eh?
So I'm really pleased that a lot of the kōrero that we've had last night and today have actually been putting lots of pieces into place to set the context up for our talk. And we're really lucky to have a huge amount of data, regardless of the fact that we don't have a huge written record from this period.
To our knowledge, no other shaped scoria block similar to these has been found on an archaeological site anywhere in New Zealand.
And lastly, if these three blocks are exotic to New Zealand, where did they come from? I'm going to lead you through that, and we believe we have now sourced these blocks to a particular island in the Hawaii zone.
So culture, tradition and science have been embodied into the skills of the Southern family, the family that came down across the Pacific.
So when we talk about the migration Bill talked earlier, we are in fact the brown people who are in the South Pacific and Southeast Asia.
When I was growing up as an archaeologist, archaeologists in New Zealand always thought about and talked about our past as if it started when the people got off the waka. That wasn't me, that wasn't my interest. I was interested in what happened before that and what brought the people to New Zealand, because of course migration histories don't start when you get off the plane or jump off the boat.
This is the Mangahawea Bay, a site of early Polynesian settlement. So what we're talking about now is a place where those colonising waka finally came to.
Most of my research is around environmental history, marine environmental history of the Bay of Islands.
These people gave me stories, and I was one of those kids who used to hang around them.
Now I'm adding the DNA story, which is another thread that we use to really tell the rich stories that are our human stories.
Yeah, dendrochronology is tree ring dating. So what they do is count the rings, and it gives you the age. It gives you the age of the artifact or the tree, or yeah.
These locations are today part of the nations of Malaysia, Malay nation states, Brunei, Singapore, Indonesia, and southern Myanmar, and southern Thailand.
When I first became a student in the art of whakairo, I quickly learned that the meeting house was our university. That the whakairo, the tuku, the ko whai ke roto hoki te whare, was our writing that recorded our history.
Listen, and so just over the time that we've been, there's been some amazing recording,
tūtei ki te hauraro, te kua hapora, kaumanga ki te rāwhiti.